The last 10 to 15 years of Elizabeth's reign were years when she lost many of her long-term councillors. Robert Dudley in 1588, Walsingham in 1590, and the aged William Cecil finally dies in 1597. It's during this period of her life that a new person comes on the scene, the stepson of Robert Dudley, the Earl of Essex, Robert Devereux. He's a dashing man. I think the Queen found her attractive, and he was certainly a piece of colour in the court. However, the Queen was no fool, and she had appointed also Robert Cecil, the son of William Cecil, who was hard-working and capable. This was a conflict between the Earl of Essex and Robert Cecil. The Earl of Essex was jealous of Robert Cecil's success. Now, the Earl of Essex was himself quite a tempestuous person, and at one time accused the Queen's service of being unworthy, and the Queen punched him, and he almost drew a sword. At that point, he was expelled from the court, understandably. He was then given the opportunity to redeem himself by going to Ireland to defeat the Earl of Tyrone. However, when he heard that Robert Cecil had been promoted, he quickly came back against the Queen's orders, dashed into the Queen's bedchamber before she was properly dressed, and the result was the Queen had him put under house arrest, excluded from the court, and he was facing financial ruin because of the loss of his monopolies. His response was to try and lead a rebellion in 1601, which failed because ultimately the government of Elizabeth was still strong enough to resist him, and he was then executed. In many ways, it could be argued that Elizabeth's last years were not happy for her for various reasons, and there were bad harvests, and she maybe not had the same popularity she had had. But the stability of her governments over the 45 years of her reign are testimony to her providing this country with a sense of what it was as a nation, something that was going to withstand the shocks of the Stuart reigns, and in a sense provided a base for Christian outreach for the next 3 centuries, because the country had developed a real strong sense of its own identity with a navy to defend it. Well, thank you for listening.